Let's go. Nice. So today what we're doing is we're going to the Black Rock Castle. We're gonna visit the castle, and yeah, we're gonna also like the small restaurant that they have there. They have nice food as well. Okay, so it's me, Sipokazi, and her mom behind the camera there. Okay, sure. Let's go. Yuva, 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 Yuva. So guys, we are at the Black Rock Castle in Cork, as you can see. I'm there, yeah. So we're just gonna go get some information there and see if we can see access to someone. Okay. Belle recette d'air, je m'offense vers le ciel, vers le pays de lumière.
Or through here, you go through at your own pace, take your time, and there's movies on the TV screens, there's printed information on the walls, enjoy as much or as little as you'd like. Once you get to the end of the hallway, there's an inflatable dome, that's the planetarium. So once we're all at the end, we can go into the dome, look at the stars and planets, and then after that, we'll take a look at the history of the building. So feel free to head in, have a look around, and I'll meet you down here. Thank you.
Okay. So we starting with the observatory, as you can see. Something nazish, nada, nazish, nada. They may want to visit you.
So the Black Rock Castle is the whole history. Like if you go to Google, you're gonna like learn about it. The Black Rock Castle in Cork City or near Cork City. So it's in Black Rock, Cork, in Ireland. So what happened is at some point, like the government was no longer able to take care of the old castle, the old building. So they gave it to CIT, which used to be like it's now MUT, but it used to be Cork Institute of Technology. So they have their department of astronomy inside there. So they like take care of the building as well, with the founding that they have. They also have a telescope inside there that like we couldn't see the telescope anyway. Later on in the video, you're gonna see that the telescope they only use it during the night.
Planetarium, we can get started. This is the planetarium dome. So it is kept up by air pressure. When you're going in, you will need to open the doors as you step through. But once you're inside, it's a solid floor on the inside, just like an.
So the MIUT or CIT back then, like it's renting the place and taking care of the building as well, and I'm so sure like all the money that you pay to visit and stuff like help MIUT or CIT and the government to take care of the building, but also the Castle Cafe that is on the other side. So in the observatory, there's all a lot of you know expose or like you can view different planets, like the history of how the galaxy and everything was created up to like when the humankind start living here. So all these pictures around the place explains everything. Like if you like geography, even science and astronomy in particular, it's a place to come. It's also like I realized that watching some of the video, the patrons are actually astronauts from NASA. Some of the patrons of this observatory, So I hope you enjoying.
even if
Yeah,
the
that's what I had
towns,
to
right, the
tell
towns
you.
aren't going to change too much over the next couple of weeks. What will change the stars to remember these stories. We have books and Wikipedia to help us instead. We use these pictures to break up the sky into sections. The same way we break the world into countries and countries into states and counties, we divide the sky into these pictures. If someone tells you to find the history, we're going to start by going down to the oldest part of the castle. So we'll do 15 steps. Then after I talk about the history, we'll do 100 steps up to the top. But we'll start with the 15 down here.
Ukiangalia maeskalier Gunner.
So, this is the gunnery. This is the oldest part of the castle. So these walls around us were first built in 1582. So this is the oldest usable standing structure in the city by volume in the world. So after Rotterdam in the Netherlands and Sydney in Australia, we're the next biggest. There was no man-made harbours in the 1400s, and people hadn't met below us, the limestone underneath us, and the telescope in the middle. But we will only be up there for a few minutes, so while I'm talking, have a look around, take photos, and enjoy the view. We'll be going right past the door to the ground floor. So if you want to call the other member of your group to join on to the tour as you're going past, they can come up to the top as well. So if you're ready, through here.
This has powder in it, right?
Yes.
How do they do it? I mean, they just put it in and they...
Well, the gunpowder, even when it got hot, it wouldn't explode. It took a spark to set it off.
All right.
And the cat...
Belle recette je m'avance vers le ciel, vers le pays des lumières, ce jour éternel. Ici l'ennemi se nomme, je me vois environné. Ma route sauvage semble sur le mètre d'un repère, mes copies en chemin par ce que mais. Et des rythmes cacrés pendant les premiers l'orage, j'ai remis tout son père. Qui porte donc la souffrance près ça.
Utasema leo. Utasema ngumu.
Island. We call it Little Island because it's second biggest. After Little Island is Great Island, and that's the biggest. Great Island has the town of Cove, where the Titanic departed from, so that's what really faces Cork Harbour, but we don't see Great Island from here. What we can see after Little Island is the other side of the harbour, places like Passage. So all of the Navy ships were down below these islands, and the gunnery walls. And if you see that the bottom is a little bit wider than the top, that's the scope. We have a few windows low down around the site. If you look up.
After finishing our tour, visiting the old castle, Black Rock Castle, and the observatory inside, we headed to the Castle Cafe, which the restaurant that is in the castle itself. So the food was great. I had some fish and my wife had some beef mixed with some vegetables as well. Yeah, which was great. Yeah, I think the restaurant was fine, and we may come back to.
Everyone, is it okay? Is it fine?
Yes, okay.
Cheers, thanks.
Filmer.